Welcome. We just kicked off the meeting, the webinar. I will give it a few minutes as people are joining. Thanks for joining, everyone. We're going to give it a few minutes as attendees filter in here at the top of the hour.
We definitely should have did a little elevator music while this was going on.
That is true. I can just talk and relive the glory of last night's games in Minnesota. For those of you that don't know, I'm from Minnesota, and we've had a long storied history of rough playoff losses. But last night, both our Minnesota Wild hockey team and the Timberwolves won on the same night to close out series and move to the second round. So,
Greg, I think I saw people hanging up.
Yeah, we're losing them. We're losing them.
I saw some applause.
A little bit anyway. Okay, we'll kick this off. We'll start this up in about a minute here. I'll give some introductions, but thanks for joining everybody. Okay, we'll kick it off in 15 seconds, right at the next top when the minute hangs up to 12:03.
You want a countdown?
Countdown.
10,
5 seconds to go.
9, 8, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. This is a webinar today on how Agile is empowering the next generation of MBS execution. I'm Greg Vasura, president of Agile. I've been here now almost 3 years, which is pretty crazy to think it's been that quick. After spending 30 years at Wells Fargo, a lot of my life at Wells was on the correspondent lending side in the pricing and revenue analytics, along with managing the mandatory trade desk and the best effort price line. With me today, we have a lot of experts from Agile, and we're going to be talking about the mortgage trading ecosystem and how Agile is becoming a key participant in reshaping how trading is done for mortgage lenders and for regional broker dealers. And along with me, I have Tawab Abawi, Sam Farmer, and Louis Simone. Tawab, take it away and give a little bio.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Tawab here. I've got 20 plus years in the mortgage industry, both on the buy and sell side, ex-Countrywide B of A guy. And then I came over to MCT to manage pipelines for a bunch of different originators, big and small. Did a lot of obviously TBA trading, but a lot of trading a lot of pools. My expertise in helping Agile grow has been good for us, and happy to be here.
Sam.
Okay, thanks. Hello, everybody. My name's Sam Farmer. I work on the product side. I'm the director of product over at Agile. I have had a lot of experience in the mortgage industry, sitting in the seat of the trader and also on the sales side. When I worked at MCT as a trader, I traded for over 40 different accounts, and that really gave me a good understanding of where the pain points were for lenders as they battle with fragmented information, inefficiencies in manual processes, and trying to garner in execution in fast-moving environments. From there, I had an opportunity to work in a sales role in the Midwest. And I worked with a wide range of lenders, got to see not only lenders who are working with our system, but lenders who are working on other systems and understand the pain points that they had across other platforms. And I've always had a strong interest in programming and automation. And so I strongly believe in the way that technology can improve workflows and increase execution, transparency, communication. I call that CAT, communication, automation, and transparency in high stress environments. And as a quick side note, my background is from Halo, the Zanzibar map, because I think there's a strong crossover between gamers who play Halo competitively and traders, because there's a lot going on, stressful environments. You have to cooperate as a team, and work to achieve some goal like winning or achieving best execution in high stress environments. So that's why I've got this background here.
All right, Lewis.
Thanks, Greg. Most of you know me from my older roles. I have 20 plus years in the mortgage business. I started my career at Freddie Mac back in the day. Following that, I was 10 years on the sales desk at Jeffries, and then I helped build the BMO sales and trading desk for TBAs and spec pools in the last 10 years, excuse me. And in addition to that, I am the one on the panel here with the most hair. So I'm really looking forward to kind of helping and, kind of showing some comparisons or anything I can do from the dealer side and what this system actually puts forth. And that's all I got.
All right, thanks, guys. We're going to show quick here our featured broker dealers. We have a really great trading platform that highlights some of the dealers out there that are providing a lot of liquidity into the mortgage lender space. So we have about 25 dealers on the platform, and a lot of options for really all size participants in the mortgage ecosystem. So very, very proud of our dealer mix, and we love the relationships with our dealers, and we love the relationships with our dealers and the lenders. So here they are, but a pretty outstanding list of dealers are on the platform. And let's get into a little quick talk about what is Agile Trading Technologies. We are a FINRA registered broker dealer. There's really three main components to our platform. We have a TBA request for quote platform. We're going to go into really the details there in depth on some of our new trading views and the flow of how our platform serves the lenders. And it's really electronic TBA bidding. And second big facet of our platform is our pool bidding. We've redesigned our pool bidding platform over the last year here. And we have a great product out in the market that Twab and Lewis are introducing to a lot of lenders as we speak. And so we'll go dive deep into our pool bidding platform. And then we have a new addition to our mix, and that's live pricing. We have a live pricing setup, and we're pretty proud of our new market levels and live TBA markets. So let's dive into a few questions about our platform. Twab, give us a deeper overview of the TBA platform.
Yeah, when we first developed the technology, we wanted to introduce electronic trading to the mortgage the originator world. There were some other trading platforms out there. The barrier of entry was pretty high. A lot of regional dealers weren't on that. So traditionally, phone call was the way you were trading TBAs, which was great, but it wasn't the most efficient process. So we wanted to be able to have the lender get best execution by being able to have their flow shown to as many dealers as possible. You could break it out to on a phone call to 2 or 3 different dealers, but you don't know who the best execution is. You're guessing as to who you're going to call, or sometimes you're just calling 1 or 2, and you might be leaving some basis points on the table. But being able to show your flow to multiple dealers on an electronic platform allows you to receive better execution. But more importantly, it provides transparency as to where people are, dealers are, and where the pricing is. Operational efficiencies gained by trading electronically is huge. When you're picking up the phone, sometimes you're taking pen to paper and then transferring it over to another system. The human element is comes into play. Sometimes mistakes happen. Mistakes do happen with the electronic platform that we've developed here. We have a triple check embedded in the trade process. You put a bid out, a dealer gives you a level, you hit it, and you confirm it. So there's no real settlement issues. So that headache around notification day, that's all gone on both sides, the dealer and the lender. Dealer benefits from this too by being able to see a lot of flow rather than relying on a lender to give them a call. So it's a win-win on both sides.
It really is. When you look at especially the accuracy around settlement with that triple check, it's amazing to me how I've been here 3 years now, and we virtually had no settlement issues. I think we've had there was one duplicate trade that was a notification issue, but when you look at the sheer number of trades on our platform and smooth sailing with all those trades, it's a big relief for everybody in the organization behind the scenes that gets pulled in when there are settlement issues and you have to go back and forth between the dealers and potentially your investors, and it's a big win for the operational flow of lenders that are using the platform.
Yeah, and to that, sorry, Louis, I'll let you jump in right after this, but to that point too, I think the scalability of our platform, along with the improvement in electronic trading, reducing the risk of errors, means that not only using the electronic platform are you getting an accurate price for the trades that you're doing, but when you've got 10 minutes left and the market's closing, you have the ability to put on 5 different trades at the same time to quickly get those trades out to your broker dealers, quickly get levels back, and hit them. Because if you think about, like, if you were picking up the phone to do that, how many, like, a lot of lenders have like 8 dealers or more because they want to get the most competitive level they can from the market. How would you do 40 calls in 10 minutes? Like, that's just impossible. And then even if you could do it, how could you do it accurately? So that's really one of the efficiencies and cool things that I think are having an electronic trading platform that you use. It not only scales really well to allow you to do a lot of trades at the same time, because who's hedging with one security these days? Most people are hedging as closely to the product that they are originating as possible. So it allows you to do that, put on different coupon settlements competitively, but also accurately. So I think that's a really important benefit of using an electronic trading platform. Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, my time, especially in the last 10 years at BMO, I was a big advocate of the Agile system throughout the years, and I was there to kind of help them during their redevelopment into version 2. And throughout that time, I mean, we covered over 300 clients, and we had class A settlement, class B, class C, all those settlements. We've had issues. We had issue with multiple lenders, but I can tell you that we never had an issue with Agile trades. It made our middle office and back office runnings much smoother, and it just made the flow of everything efficient, and just made everyone's life easier. So to that extent, the system that Greg had mentioned and Tawab had mentioned, it really just makes things efficient, easy, and correct. And I think, anybody who is on the system or will look at the system will see that and understand that just, in a couple of days using it. So I really hope, some of you who are not on it, take the shot to get on it, because we think this system speaks for itself, and you'll really, really enjoy using it. It is built by mortgage people for mortgage people. So it's not for every I guess product in the financial field. It is for mortgage people.
That's really interesting. How much do you miss those days on notification date where you're looking for a trade or looking to try to cross-reference between a couple lenders of where that position came from?
Yeah, no, it's I don't miss that at all. I enjoy working with the crew here as well. I mean, in addition to this, you all of you, most of you know that I also have another gig with FICO. So my day here is much better than those days on Class A and B and C trying to trace down a trade that is missing and or out of whack. And having to relay some bad news to lenders, right? That, hey, the market's closed. Now we have no liquidity, and we have to give you a terrible level, right? So because now we don't have it in position, and we can't offer you market levels, right? So this really gives the lender, I guess, a sense of calming that there will not be that issue.
Yeah, to piggyback off of both of you, one big differentiator on our platform is not having you're having the ability to put multiple trades out. Like Sam said, most competing platforms, you have to put a trade out, wait for it to finish. So when you're coming out to like the Fed announcement or end of day market close, you could put multiple trades, multiple securities out for bid. Notification, like Lewis said, you can do all your roles with a couple clicks of the button, rather than having to pick up the phone, call on different dealers. The time spent on rolls during notification or summit time, you're done in minutes. It's all accurate. So definitely time saved.
I'll tell you, that was the only way I was able to hedge for multiple different accounts at the same time during the end of the same trading day. I'm sure your experience was the same, 12. Like you'd have like a couple of different tabs open for different lenders' pipelines, and you could put out trades and then move on to the next lender. Like it is that efficient, that accurate, and you're getting the best execution because you can see the 10 levels come back and you're picking the best one. So it's amazing. It's an amazing tool.
Very, very cool. And you mentioned some of the benefits on the backroom flow in terms of operational flow. Lewis, from a dealer perspective, what was some of the benefits of the volume flow and meeting your firm's buying needs?
Yeah, so on our firm's buying needs, sorry, get out here, buddy. Sorry about that. On our firm's little kid, sorry. On our firm's buying needs, the system, right? Everyone has, I guess you call relationships and all that kind of stuff. But even with a relationship, the system gives you the opportunity to see all volume instead of just one trade. Like, oh, hey, somebody calls in and says, hey, give me a bid, whatever. Now you're getting every trade request that lender has, right? And so it's easy for you to see, and you put the economics on it. If you want it, you win. But now you're seeing everything that they have. It's easier and made it quicker for us as a broker dealer to fill up our axes. When we were axed, we were able to mark axe, so lenders knew to come back and get a better level if needed. And we were able to communicate that easily to the lender. So the system really helped us fill axes and just kind of make our day a hell of a lot easier, honestly, as a dealer. And in the big thing I really want to get that across to everyone is that it's on a dealer, right? It's the dealer to put the level on it. It's up to them to come up with the economics in the trade and make it work. But now as a dealer, you're seeing everything you can possibly see from each lender, which is increasing the volume you're seeing and making it easier to cover your shorts and fill axes.
It's very similar to what the evolution of bid tape in the mortgage, in the mandatory and bulk and AOT space. Back at Wells, we were really nervous and hesitant about the bid tape environment, but then after a while, you realize it's great to know every loan that's being put out for bid, and then we can pick and choose which ones we want, which ones we need, where we have value for the firm. So it was this is similar to that, where as a buyer in the correspondent space, we kind of got to see everything out there. This is very similar for the dealer side. They get to see what's out there, and then can drive and be aggressive where they need to be. So now let's get into the nuts and bolts of the system. Sam, why don't you show us some of the new key developments of our latest TBA platform?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Greg. So we've got some of this stuff was in the first version of the Agile platform that we rolled out. This and then we kind of enhanced the views of it, made it higher fidelity, made the back end quicker, using APIs to make the whole experience smoother and faster. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, as well as the facelift that you see here in front of you. So up at the top left, we've got a TBA exposure table. That's just letting you know what your position is relative to the amount of exposure that you that you have on, or sorry, relative to your mark-to-market threshold limit. Those can be set wherever they need to be, and then the bars give you a quick gauge as to how you're doing relative to that limit. The mark-to-market threshold amount tells you if you're getting close to the like a transfer or a margin call being required by one of your dealers. So we just really wanted to use that to make it a quicker process for you to just glance at it and then see, okay, how am I doing before I hit a particular bid that I have inside of my other widget here, the TAM widget that allows me to do my trading. So one other thing with our new platform is it breaks everything down into widgets so that you can customize your screen and center it around the items that you need to focus on when you're doing a trade. You can set up multiple different views so that, if you have a way of looking at things at the beginning of the day that maybe is not the same as the end or the middle, you can save different workspaces and access them throughout the day as either a lender or a dealer. So that really improves the transparency and the communication for you between you and the lender and the dealers, as well as the automation that we have going on in the background. So the widget at the bottom left there, that's the chat. We find this really useful on both TBAs and pooling. The chat allows you to go back and forth with lenders or with dealers to ask for improvements to the level, or if you need to wake them up because they're getting a cup of coffee, you can hit them up there. That's helpful. And then the chat can be used to go into more detail on the pools. If you have a pool out there and you want to chat back and forth about an individual spec story or give them some more information, that's highly leverageable. The TAM widget, that's where all the trading gets done on our platform. It's broken down into sells and buys, competitive and non-competitive, because with our platform you have the threshold being 2 million, when you the minimum size for a trade needs to be 2 million before you can set it competitively, and that just creates a higher barrier for the dealers, because those small trades like 250,000 being competitive doesn't really help anyone to efficiently trade at the moment. This system here lets you put on, like we said, multiple trades at the same time. So if you have a bunch of different positions that you want to put out there, you can take advantage of it. You can also use it to send indications to get a feel for where the market is. If you're not ready to actually execute that trade yet, the dealers appreciate that because they treat every incoming trade as one that's eventually going to be hit, and so they're looking to you for or the platform for information on why it didn't trade to them. So if you have something that you want to inquire about but not trade, you can leverage the indication tab to send those inquiries either as buy, sells, roles or spec stories. Then we have limit orders, which allow you to set a target or strike price for a particular TBA. That can be leveraged in conjunction with the daily rates or rate sheets that lenders put out there. If you have a large trade that you want a dealer to work because the market's not quite there yet, you can leverage the limit order types of trades to send that out there, give the dealer some time to work it for you, and then come back to you with a response on whether they can strike that or not. So that's pretty cool too. I'm not going to go into detail on everything there, but I'll give you guys a chance to comment if you want, or we can move to the next slide.
Yeah, I just one quick thing I would throw in there too, Sam, is that if you are a builder or if you are someone who works with a builder, unlike pretty much every other system, we here at Agile give the lender the ability to go out off screen. So you can go off screen as far as you want in competition, as long as that credit risk is approved by the dealers you're working with. So if you're a builder, you can go out 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8, whatever you want to do in comp, non-comp, but you are able to get that bid on this system as well, which kind of differentiates us from pretty much every other platform out there.
Yeah, I mean, when you were a dealer and someone had an inquiry like that, or that always had to be done over the phone, right? Like now we've made that electronic, so you can do it competitively too.
Yeah, and it's great. We have standard timers on most things here that are in comp, but the I guess you call the time frame in which an at-or-month TBA is done is a little bit longer, because it takes a little bit more time just to calculate those rolls and cost of funds over extra months. But nonetheless, you are able to do it on this system as a builder, and it just gives you another I guess tool in your toolbox to hedge your portfolio accordingly.
Yeah, I think it's only 120 seconds. Like traders are really fast. Like the dealers are really fast to price these things out. So it's like an extra 60 seconds in the dealer world is almost a lifetime. So
not me, brother. That's why I'm sitting here with you.
All right, let's look at some of the ease and inconvenience of putting a bid on the system.
Yeah, I think I might have gotten ahead of myself and went through this one a little bit, but yeah, you could quickly put in. I guess one detail that I would call attention to on this is you can quickly put in the dealer, whether it's competitive, buy, sell, security, coupon, and settle with just these drop downs, which just makes it a couple of clicks before you send out a trade. Whereas sometimes with other platforms, I know that you can have to type some of this out, and it can be a little bit of a longer process. So it allows you to get quickly out there with trades that are competitive or multiple trades at the same time, and it creates a little card down below the TBA trade section here.
Yeah, let's see that next card. It's pretty slick. The card pops up immediately. That timer starts, and there you go, Sam. Those results are starting to come in.
Yeah, I mean, so you'll notice just kind of going from top to bottom here that we have a little tag at the top that tells you whether it's a bid or an offer, which is bid, sell, offer, buy. The top right is the status of the card to give you an indication on where that trade is in the life cycle of a trade. You'll go from level requested to level received. And then you hit it, and it'll be hit requested, and then confirmed, canceled.
Yep, let's see the next one. There they all came in. So the first slide, a tag as the highest level comes in, the indication switches to the new dealer with a higher level,
and you can see that progress bar there at the top too, kind of ticking through. We've got 3 sections on the timer. The first one being a minute long or 60 seconds where you're waiting for the dealer to provide levels, or all of the dealers for a competitive trade. The second one being the 30 seconds that you have to decide which dealer you want to go with. That 30 seconds, you could decide within the first 60 seconds if you want, but it just give you kind of an unabridged section of time to make that decision. We don't want it to be too long, because a dealer doesn't want Lewis to tell you that, like, the dealer can't sit there and moving market with a level out there for very long before they need to make changes. The dealer can make changes throughout, like adjust their level up and down with the market. The one thing that they can't do is, after you hit the level and decide, that's the best, they can't increase, or what would be worse is if they were to decrease that level on a bid after you've already hit it. So they're locked in. That gives them one chance to do a final confirmation, or tell you, the market's no longer there and we need to trade away, which can happen sometimes in a fast moving market after a Fed day or a tweet these days.
Yes. Tweet by policy by tweet. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a pretty quick and efficient process, and the beauty is there's no room for interpretation. Did you hear something on the phone that wasn't the right settlement month, the right amount? It's all confirmed, triple checked, and there we go. Lewis, with less time on the phone during the bidding process, how has that changed the lender-dealer relationship? Lenders spend a lot of time on the phones in certain circumstances, but now with an electronic platform, more time for the dealers and lenders to do quote unquote other things. But what are some of those other things from a relationship standpoint the dealers appreciated with the platform?
Yeah, I think from a dealer standpoint, as we touched on earlier, it gives the dealer the ability to see all of a lender's flow, right? So a lender and a dealer don't have to, I guess, sit there and try to pull more bids. Hey, I'm giving you good levels. Can you show me some more bonds? No, you're seeing everything, right? So you're getting a holistic picture of what the lender is putting out there to the market on a daily basis, which is great. Which gives you time to focus on your true relationship with the lender, right? Like talking about market, talking about other things, like if there's downtime, talking about life in general, right? In my opinion, it helped me talk to customers more on a more personal basis, right? And build that personal relationship with customers instead of every time I'm on the phone looking to get more business.
They're not transactional, right?
Yeah, it's not transactional.
Yeah.
You're getting to know your customer, you're understanding that customer more, and the call isn't always about getting bonds, right? It's about market color. It's about being there for your customer if there's an issue. It's just being a little more present to the customer instead of always give me. So that's what I liked about it personally. Maybe other people don't run their business that way, but for me and anyone who has dealt with me in the past know that I'm more of a relationship type guy, and anything I can do to help them. And this system helped me do that, gave me more time to do that.
Talking to many of, real quick, in talking to many of our dealers in my 3 years since I've been here, that's really the number one thing. The dealers are first and foremost your relationship people, and that extra time to talk about what the dealers' overall organizations can provide. They have their desks, but a lot of our dealers have other services and abilities to meet lenders' needs, and getting those deep relationships is really advantageous for all parties within the ecosystem. Sorry, Bob.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So that's really in a nutshell our TBA side. Let's hop over to discuss a little bit the pool bidding side. Oh wait, oh shoot, I jumped the gun on this one. This was a good one.
Spaghetti.
This is I forgot, it's my favorite graph. This graph we call the spaghetti graph. And this is trades through a day, just a week or so ago, and really it shows the in the moment how every dealer basically stepping up and is number one at certain points in time. This is our top 10 dealers on the platform in terms of lender count in trades bid on, and through the day you can really see how it goes. It's a pretty volatile space, bid by bid, within a tight band. And
Greg, just so I'm clear because I haven't looked at this in a while, but going across the top, we've got the like on the y-axis, we've got the amount of trades won by a particular dealer, and that's what the colored line is showing. And then
no, this
no.
is kind of trade by trade, and at the moment, each dealer is represented by a different color. And if you look each moment through the day, different dealers had the best bid at that time of day.
Oh, I
And,
see.
and a lot of times, various dealers have maybe the worst bid at that time of day. Now the band is pretty tight. This is within bips, but if you made the phone call to some of these dealers on the bottom side of this chart, if you would have made the phone call to a different dealer you had in your dealer set that was higher up in that band at that moment in time, you would have received better execution. Well, by putting your trades onto the system and having all your dealers see that trade at that moment, the dealer that rises to the top of all these peaks would be the one that gets that bid from you. So it's really moment in time, how they stack up against each other, and it's constantly evolving through the day, and it gets really frantic that last hour of the day in what we call power hour.
The point, I think the point here is it takes the guesswork away, right? So you're not guessing and calling the wrong dealer. So this way, your dealers are happy because they're seeing the flow, and then you're going to get the best execution by not having to pick up the phone and call.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, this graph kind of really highlights a lot of the benefit from a lender perspective of the platform.
I think that you made a great point there too, Twab. And I think Lewis would probably back it up a lot. But like how much of a difference does it make for the dealer to as a dealer to be seeing all these competitive trades going throughout the day, and instead of having to sit there on the phone or emailing and hoping, these guys will pick up the phone and choose me out of whatever large dealer set that some lenders have. Like, it does, to your point, Schwab, kind of take the guesswork and the hope out of the dealers, and it just, I think, creates a more fair marketplace for the lenders, because it allows the dealer that has the best price at any given moment throughout the day, which obviously, because this graph is telling us, varies a lot. I can't tell where these lines are going after I look at one. Like, I can see one peak, and then like what happens to it after that, it is just guesswork. So I mean, would you agree there, Lewis?
Yeah, no, I agree with what both of you said. The comment I'll make now may not be the best for either side, but I will say, as you have flow throughout the day, you're seeing it. A dealer is filling axes, lender is getting good execution because of the platform. It kind of works both ways, right? It gives lenders the ability to fill axes throughout the day with not having to worry about being short at the end of the day, right? So I can't just talk about lenders as much as I'd love to, but it gives dealers the ability to fill axes throughout the day, and then they also don't have to overpay at the end of the day by too much, right? Because their axes have constantly been filled throughout the day. They don't have to worry that if they don't win this trade, they're going to go short that night, right? So on the dealer side, there are many positives as well. But on the flip side of that, throughout the day, the lenders are getting constant, consistent levels that are, on top of screens, above screens. So it works for both sides of the equation. It's not just a one-sided thing here. Everyone's getting better levels than being on a phone. Everyone's getting better levels than just putting it out to one person. And they are consistently better, or if not the same as screen, but consistently through screen from everything I've seen in the past using the system. And then dealers on the flip side, they're covering their axes and, not constantly overbidding at the end of the day, and then having to go back to a lender and say, hey, can I get some money back? Because I know so we're working to avoid things like that. We're trying to find the right markets, get lenders better execution at levels that are better than screen, but that are palatable to dealers as well.
Very good. Yeah. So it's really helping meet the needs of as we said, the whole ecosystem. Let's dive into the pool bidding now after I jumped the gun earlier. So pool bidding made easy. We developed a new 4-stage process in pool bidding. It typical pools take an hour or so to get them, get the lists out, get the pools out to the dealers, and we broke that hour into some steps. We have an initial setup step, a monitor step, an award step, and a finish step. And Sam's going to take us through some of those screens and those steps here moving forward.
Okay, thanks, Greg. I talk about something I could talk about, all freaking day. Like this is a massive.
But we're not going to do that.
upgrade
We're not
to-
going to.
No.
We're not going to leave you stuck all day with us. We'd love it
Yeah.
to be that way, but yeah, Sam.
Yeah. If
we love
anybody wants to
passion,
talk
we know
about
he could,
it,
but he knows he's not going.
Yeah.
But this is exciting stuff for us.
you guys get my email and my phone number, I think, with the presentation. So if you want to talk in more detail about it, you can hit me up and I'll refer you to Schwab. But no, the MBS pool bidding platform is a huge upgrade to the way that we used to do pools in my prior life. I mean, they're talk about a fragmented process that is filled with gaps in information, manual steps, and no transparency for either the lenders or dealers. It doesn't work to just do these things through email and chat over the phone. I mean, you obviously can get it to work, but there had to be a better way. And so using what we had experienced throughout those processes and working with the dealers, we synthesized this platform. And I told you I'm not going to go into too much detail into it, but it is tempting. But the setup process is the first stage here, and in that we allow you to easily get your pools from whatever system you're using to track your loans and create your pools, optimize them to our platform, and you can upload that as a regular spreadsheet. So that's the link to the old spreadsheet days, but that's pretty much it. So after you get those pools into the system, you put a time that you want bids back on them. You're done with this first stage in the process. I mean, you specify what dealers you want and stuff, and add any comments, notes, all that, lots of information you can put in the pools. But after you get it out, you can move to the monitor step. And so we can go to the next slide here.
And a quick note on setup. Your dealers are not limited to just Agile only dealers. A lot of times in the pool bidding process, those lists are going out to a whole multitude of other investors and dealers, and they all can be sent those lists as well and integrated back into this monitor step, as Sam's going to go to here.
Oh yeah, it's tempting to go down a rabbit hole, but yes, you could get those pools out to a bunch of different dealers to get them to shadow them, even if they're not on our platform, or shadow them or provide live bids, since you can enter the bids in the tool. So it really enhances the ease of working with a large number of bidders, which, as we all know, helps increase your execution. We break the monitor step into a spreadsheet, dealer summary, and a pool summary. Those are just 3 different views into where your pools are pricing. You can think of them as kind of pivot tabling your pools, so that you can have a better view into which pools are doing well with which dealers, and then revert back to a spreadsheet normal view if you want to change anything, update things, go back and forth with the dealers, and then you can use chat the whole time to confirm specifics with dealers if you want to. We do have some functionality on the side there. I'm not going to go into all of it, but there's a way to tell dealers, hey, I don't have your levels yet. You can click that dealer reminder button and send them, a quick email equivalent to if you were in the same office with them, throwing the phone at them to get them to throw their bid into the platform. The other button that we we have there is the provide color button. I love that one. I think that one makes a huge difference for lenders who want to get the best execution out of their pools. What it does is quickly allow you, prior to striking the pools, to send requests for to send color out to the dealers as a way to get them to step up on pools that they're axed on or really want to buy, because we're having to when you're sitting in the seat of a trader as a lender trying to get the best execution, you have to assimilate tons of different information about, what does it mean when one dealer says I'm axed, another dealer says I'm super axed, and another guy says need to buy this. How do you compare those three things? Well, you can use the provide color tab to a button to send them, what level you need on it to strike with them, or you could use it to tell them where the bids are coming back right now. There's a lot of ways you can take advantage of it, and it just uses automation to make that easier and make your execution more efficient and increase the transparency for the dealers. So you can jump to the award tab, because once we're finished with getting all of our bids and improvements from the dealers, we're ready to start striking them. It looks like we're still in the monitor tab. This is the spreadsheet view. This is where you are getting bids back and improving them. This is the pool summary view, like I talked about. We can keep going. You can add notes to pools if you want, things to come back to, specific things with dealers. There's a lot of functionality, flexibility inside this platform. So here we are in the award step. This is where you strike the pools. One of the biggest enhancements we've made to this recently is the ability to electronically strike the pools. And what that does is increase the efficiency of the trade, because who likes it when you send out like an email saying, hey, can you strike those? And the dealer has gone to get coffee or is dealing with the litany of other things that they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis and doesn't get back to you for 20 minutes. It's like, I'm worried about my strikes moving potentially and getting caught up in a worse market than when I analyzed this and was ready to strike them. So the electronic striking, like a TBA trade, allows you to get it done in an efficient, timely manner. And quickly get a strike back from the dealer.
And Sam, to that point, on the dealer side, the dealer's not waiting too, so it's just a quicker trade, right? The dealer has the ability to give you that level. You're confirming you're done. So it's very efficient on both sides.
Yeah, excellent point. Yeah. And then obviously you can leverage the chat too to go back and forth, because sometimes there is a little bit of negotiation that goes into getting strikes. And what if you don't have an apples to apples comparison where one dealer provides you with a pay up and another dealer provides you with a dollar price for a pool? How do you compare those? Well, our platform provides you with not only live pricing so that you can see where the market is on securities, but you can look at that live pricing and put that into the pool. And then you have a strike for a pool that has a pay up, so you can compare it to a pool that has a dollar price. And if anyone doesn't understand what I mean by that, I'm sure Twab will be happy to demo that for you. So that's really cool. It's really easy to strike it. Once you get the pools back, you just click a button. We can go ahead and click that button and move on to the next slide, because let's assume we've struck all our pools. This is another place that we've really increased the automation. I mean, if you're trading on swap all the time, chances are your pools are not going to the exact dealer that your hedge trades are for your production when those loans were closing in your pipeline. The chances are the pools are not going to the exact same dealer that those trades are on with. And if they're not, you should take advantage of AOTs. AOTs allow you to move trades around by assigning them to different dealers. And there's not really a cost to you associated with that. The cost is the time, but the time it takes to fill out the tri-party agreements and send those to the dealers and get them all to sign off on it. The two dealers sign off on it, you sign off on it. The manual work of creating those things, and then the inefficiencies when they go missing, which happens from time to time, is enormous. So with our platform, we automatically create the AOTs for you as long as you select the trade and say which dealer you want it to go to, and then we send those to the dealer on your behalf. And after you click this complete swaps button, and the dealer will confirm it with you from there. So it makes it a really easy process that greatly enhances the efficiency, automation, and transparency of a platform, and it's not something that any other platform has out there on the market.
Yeah, the feedback we're getting from the lender side has been great. You know, the automation and the manual processes that are involved historically, that have been involved historically. You know, we've made the ability to trade these tools a lot quicker. Gives you more time. Those manual steps that are involved for just using a spreadsheet, you know, cutting and pasting and sorting. Our system does that for you, providing color just with a couple clicks of a button. Having the ability to see axes from your dealers, keeping them happy and fed with the, you know, with the flow, them being able to communicate, you know, you and them being able to communicate via the chat. It's crucial, you know, that you want to keep all your dealers happy, and our system allows you to communicate within the UI.
That's a great segue into this next section, 12, if you want to talk about it, or I can, but the keeping the dealers happy with cover and color here.
No, go ahead. You got it.
Okay. So after you've sent all your AOTs and you've closed out your pools, what's left? You know, you don't want to just walk away from your computer at that point, but that would piss off your dealers in a lot of cases. What they expect from you after pool trade is either a cover or color. You don't have to do it, but you know, as we've heard countless times from dealers, that's industry standard to do so. So the system provides the ability for you to quickly input the covers that you got for the dealer that won the pools and send them efficiently with one button. The other part is the color. Some, you know, it's a preference thing. Some guys send color, some guys send cover. If you want to send both, you can do that too. But it's the thing that remains the same on our platform is it's easy to do with a one button click, like you said, multiple emails, and keeps everyone happy. And that's transparency right there.
Very good. Yeah, so there's our pool bidding platform, redesigned, dark mode, light mode. We can meet your needs there, and we're pretty proud of the product. So give us a buzz and sign up for an in-depth conversation with 12 and Lewis. Let's dive to the last little section here. This won't take us much time, but we do now have a live TBA market price, and it's covering, you know, the common securities on the TBA side, and we can pop to the next screen real quick just to get a little glimpse of it. This is a little snapshot, but we do have available coupons that are beyond the levels here, but a real quick, concise way to keep up with cover, keep up with live market price, and the beauty of this too is you can have this as one of the widgets on the home screen. We have a separate screen you can view it on as well. So some options with live market price, and we're in the middle of developing some rolling charting and historical values. So live TBA market price, here we come. Sam, 12, Lewis, any other comments on our live market pricing?
No, it's great. It gives you transparency to the market, visibility, whatever you want to call it. You also have the ability to generate your rate sheets in the morning. So it's just another feature that allows us to give you as many possible products on our one platform.
Very good.
Awesome.
So that's the content for today. Thanks everybody for sticking around with us and hearing about Agile and a little bit about our market views, and we'll call it a day. Thanks to everybody, and have a great rest of the week and weekend. Lewis,
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
I got one more thing.
One more thing for Lewis.
I'm gonna test out a new tagline. Everyone, let me know what you think. Agile, mortgage platform built by the mortgage industry.
Ooh,
For the mortgage industry.
Nice.
I love it.
We got to get you in marketing.
Thank
We'll
you.
see
That's
you
right.
see you at secondary.
All right. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Take care.